With the Jägermeister Cup now in the rearview mirror, Birmingham Legion can now solely focus on the final 10 games of this regular season. And tonight brings them a familiar foe, a Pittsburgh Riverhounds side pushing for a top 4 Eastern Conference finish. Tonight it's a battle of black and gold from the Magic City, and it starts from Protective Stadium right now. Well, it started as a sunny day here in the Magic City. Since then, it's been a bit overcast, but we'll hope the rain stays away and we get ready to play USL Championship soccer tonight. It's Birmingham Legion taking on Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Live at Protective Stadium. Glad to have you with us tonight, everybody, whether you're watching on My 68 or across the country on ESPN+. That's Morgan Copes. I'm Blake Gardner, and Morgan for Birmingham Legion. Quick turnaround after going to Rhode Island in midweek. Now they're back home where they desperately need points.
They do, and they desperately need goals. Rhode Island, good defensively. Pittsburgh, historically, we all know that they've done a great job defensively. 8 clean sheets on the season so far. See what they can do tonight. That
defensive prowess, a big reason why Bob Lilly and company are pushing for a home playoff game as the Eastern Conference table stands right now. Just outside the top 4 are Pittsburgh, and they have a chance to go on a bit of a run here and secure a home playoff game.
They do, and they're going to have to do it with 6 of their 10 last games on the road. They haven't been great on the road this year, but they're good defensively, so they can do it. Legion FC, 10 games left, 30 points to play for. They've got to get as many as they can.
Well, the recent run of form for both these two sides looked like this. First for Pittsburgh, coming off a big homestand hit Highmark Stadium over the last couple of weeks, but Bob Lilly told us they just didn't get as much as they wanted from those home games.
Yeah, and he was happy with some of the parts of the performance, but he said they gave up odd goals that they just don't typically give up, and it was just careless mistakes, just falling asleep at the wrong time. But they've got the ability to grind out 1-0 results. If they can get a goal, they're very difficult to beat, but again, he said that they've given up careless goals off of set pieces like you see here against Orange County. They need to clean it up at the back in order to get a win tonight.
Speaking of cleaning things up, Mark Briggs and Birmingham Legion trying to do just that tonight.
Yes, and you'll see Sebastian Tregarthen get a couple of assists early on here in this clip to Enzo Martinez, who's not the starting 11 tonight, but Legion FC have the ability to score goals, but they've got to find that form. They've got to find a way to put balls in the back of the net. Here you see them giving up a goal against Hartford, one of the 4 they gave up in that match. They gave up 2 in the Phoenix match here. Legion FC have to find a way to shore it up defensively, but they really got to get some goals.
We'll see if they can find some form here tonight at Protective Stadium. When we return to the Magic City, we'll get a look at each side's starting 11s, plus kickoff between Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, right after this.
Give me those sauces, grab the chicken strips, let's dunk them in there, there's nothing like it. Hey, I'm Joey. And I'm Josh, and we're team members at our local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing you'll love about the Chick-fil-A chicken strips is dipping them in our sauces. My sauce is the barbecue sauce. If you wanted to add sweet, tangy flavors, there's nothing like it. I love the garden herb ranch sauce, but if you want a little bit more kick in the spicy side, you can mix it with buffalo sauce. I want to get all those flavors from the sauce with my chicken strips. Dipping them in our sauces, it is perfection.
Real team members paid for their testimonials.
Welcome back to our coverage of the USL Championship tonight from Birmingham, Alabama. Lovely shot at downtown Birmingham from the iconic Sloss Furnaces. Almost time for kickoff, but first let's get a look at each side's starting 11s. Morgan, let's start first with Bob Lilly and Pittsburgh, who have made 2 changes from the lineup that Sean Charleston.
They did, but the player I really want to point out is Robbie Mertz. Robbie Mertz has been a thorn in Legion FC's side for years to come. Can he do it again tonight?
Robbie Mertz has been a problem for a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference. 18 goals, 19 assists with the Hounds all time for the veteran. Meanwhile, for Birmingham Legion, tight turnaround again. They were in Rhode Island on Wednesday, so they've made a few changes tonight.
They did. They made 6 changes, and I really like to see Tabor Taka to get in here, Trey Garthen, and Damas. So there's a ton of speed in those 3 in that trio. So let's see how they try and unlock Pittsburgh tonight, see if they can get in behind and create some chances.
Birmingham lacking chance creation last time out. We'll see if that changes tonight as both teams made their way onto the turf here, Protective Stadium. They were led by our referee crew. Trevor Wiseman will be the man in the middle tonight. His 6th USL Championship assignment this year after he did a dozen USL Championship games a season ago. There is Bob Lilly, the 8th-year manager in Pittsburgh, the 59-year-old now in his 25th season all-time as a head coach across the North American soccer landscape and the winningest active pro coach in U.S. soccer history. On the other side, there is Mark Briggs, the 43-year-old, his first season taking over this Birmingham Legion side midway through the year. Guy who has been one of the best managers in the history of the USL Championship from his time at Real Monarchs, Sacramento Republic, now trying to turn things around here in Birmingham. Fernando Delgado gets the start in goal tonight for the Legion. 19-year-old from Phoenix, Arizona, makes his 6th start in USL Championship play. No Matt Van Oekel, the 38-year-old veteran, got the start for Birmingham on Wednesday, but it's Delgado in between the sticks tonight for the Legion. After some rain showers earlier in the day, 80 degrees, a bit humid at kickoff, as Danny Griffin and Pittsburgh get us underway tonight from Protective Stadium. And an early handball is going to give Birmingham Legion a free kick. All black Vulcan kits head to toe tonight for the Legion. Change whites, yellow checkerboard for Pittsburgh Riverhounds tonight. The Hounds try to get things done on the road against the Birmingham side they've had quite a bit of success against all time. 13th overall meeting between these two clubs this evening. 8 Pittsburgh wins, just 2 Birmingham wins, plus a couple of draws thrown in there across all comps. Hounds got it done against Birmingham when these two teams met back in March up at Highmark. Sonny Williams stays on the back of A.J. Patterson, wins Pittsburgh a throw. So prior history doesn't favor the home side Morgan tonight. Obviously the rest disadvantage for Birmingham as well, but they've got to summon something. They're the more desperate side coming into the night.
They are indeed, and I think Pittsburgh, they're going to make the playoffs. They always make the playoffs. I don't think that's a concern. But Bob Lilly said you really want to get a home playoff game if you can get one, because for them in particular, at home, they are just so much more difficult to beat. So they're certainly going to want to try and push and try and get 3 points tonight. But again, they don't have to do anything different. I mean, they call it Lilly Ball for a reason, because Bob Lilly's been playing it that way for a very long time, and he's been successful at it. So, you know, Pittsburgh are always difficult to score on. Eric Dix had a great season so far. He had a great season last year. It's just going to be tough to put one past them. So Legion FC are going to have to work extra hard to do so.
Throw for Pittsburgh here. Go and look at our injury report really quick. Aiden O'Toole missed tonight's contest once again, a knee injury, keeping him out. Lalo Samanu's hamstring still bothering him. Bob Lilly said they hope to get him back here in the next couple of weeks. Meanwhile, for Birmingham, no Moses Mensah, no Cameron Lacey. Those guys likely out the rest of the year. Tyler Pasture is the guy that Birmingham's going to miss a lot. He lasted just 11 or 12 minutes on Wednesday against Rhode Island before coming up holding his right hamstring. Haven't gotten a report on how serious that is, but it obviously keeps him out tonight, as Joshua had a bit of space to work with there for a moment. Still able to maintain it through a crowd, and was fouled, it looks like, from behind. He was right on the touchline there. And the indication is that was a foul, so it is going to be a free kick here for the Legion early, brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity for Legion FC to get a goal on a set piece. Pittsburgh has been conceding goals, a few via set piece as of late, so a great opportunity for them to get the big guys forward in Kavita and Patterson, Hamoda, even Suarez is a big body, so good service is key.
Tregarthen, it was good service, and Damas almost got on the end of it. The flag is up for offside, and Eric Dick was also able to keep that out as it whistled through all the bodies. And Dick quickly trying to restart play out the other side. A collision, Tregarthen colliding with Biasi, who only able to maintain possession for a moment. Birmingham quickly win it back. It's out in front of Mark Briggs for a throw for the Legion. So Birmingham wasting no time, applying high pressure, trying to win it back in short order.
Yeah, it was interesting from Eric Dick to try and play that quickly after the corner, or after, excuse me, the set piece. He, did a good job of making sure it made himself big and made the save, which will help him grow in confidence. But, even so, he tried to play quickly and he almost got caught.
Much easier catch that time for the 30-year-old goalkeeper. Now in his second season with the Hounds, fresh off a USL Golden Glove last year, as Morgan said. Dick, one of the best, if not the best, goalkeeper in the league last year. Led the league with 14 clean sheets. First team all USL selection. Leads the league so far again this year with 8 clean sheets. Would love another one tonight here on the road. Sean Suber out the other side. Here's Perrin Barnes, who's been holding down that right wingback spot for the Hounds as of late. Ball falls right back to his feet. Now Edrock, Sean Suber. Guillaume Vactor, the back three for the Hounds once again tonight. That's more or less what they've rolled with here over the past month plus. As the flicked on header rolls all the way back to Birmingham's goalkeeper. Again, that's Fernando Delgado, just 19 years old. Guy who is in the lineup once again tonight. Thomas on the run. Flag goes up against him. He was off when that play initially started.
That's the second time he's been called offside already, so he's flirting with that line, as much as he possibly can. Needs to make sure he stays onside, though. The next thing that'll happen is he's through on goal, but he's a hair offside, and so, again, needs to make sure he adjusts his runs, right? As a center forward, you want to bend back towards, midfield when you're making those runs, just so you can kind of, it's almost like routing a base in baseball, rounding first base. You kick out just a little bit, and then you have the ability to make that turn, give yourself an extra yard or two to stay onside.
Damas, a prolific goal scorer, guy who scored 8 times already this year. Speaking of goal scoring, here's Augie Williams with Fanuel Kavita on his back. Kavita hounding the Hound striker some 30 yards away from goal for the moment. Griffin keeps it moving. Barnes goes back to the feet of Beto Edrock for Akron Zip, making his 9th straight start tonight, 18th in the year. Extended run of possession here for the Hounds, deliberately trying to break down this 5 at the back look for Birmingham. Almost defending as a 5-3-2 as it stands. Thiago Suarez, uncontested, wins that header. Tregarthen trying to hold it up. McElhatton trying to keep it in a crowd. It looks like that throw is going to belong to Pittsburgh. And while we have a moment, let's check in with the 3rd member of our crew for the first time tonight, down turf level. That's Kennedy Baxter. What's going on, Kennedy?
Thanks, guys. So glad to be back in Birmingham tonight as Birmingham Legion takes on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. With both teams coming off tough losses and a crucial injury for Birmingham's Tyler Pasher, each team will be fighting for 3 critical points. And those points are even more important for Birmingham as they have fallen below the playoff line, sitting at 19 points. Coach Briggs says that every game until the end of the season is going to feel like a quarterfinal match for this team. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kennedy. What a turn for Preston Tabor Itaka. Can he keep it in place? The question, the answer is no.
It was a great turn from Tabor Itaka. He just can't keep the ball in play, and it's almost an unforced error. He breaks down the line, does the hard work, makes a really tidy turn, spins the defender, and if Tabor Itaka can spin a defender, there's not many in this league that will catch him. So just got to keep the ball in play if you're him in that situation. There was no pressure. I would expect him to, but that's a sign of what he can do. He can be very, very dangerous on the dribble.
Crowded midfield right now. Mertz checks back in to win the ball back here for Pittsburgh. It's an extended run tonight for Preston Tabor Itaka, the Cameroon international. marking his 7th start of the year, although he's come off the bench quite a bit more, 14 times. Augie Williams not allowed to turn. Here's Biasi. Out wide Mertz. Mertz has space to serve, does so. Delgado makes the catch. You do not want to give Robbie Mertz that kind of time and space tonight.
No, you don't. He'll create for himself or for others, and there he whips in a very dangerous cross. Opportunity for Pittsburgh. Augie Williams just can't get on the end of it. It's a little bit too high, but again, he is very dangerous in the setup role.
33 chances created in league play so far this year for Mertz. That's top 10 in the USL coming into the weekend. Biasi, clumsy with the challenge, takes down Trey Garthen. Free kick for the Legion.
There's another opportunity. Legion FC had a good opportunity with the last one. They were called offside, but even so, the service was good, the runs were good. So here's an opportunity for Legion FC to whip another dangerous ball in early on in this match.
Biasi brought it down, but I don't think he realized how close Sebastian Tregarthen was tracking him from behind.
That's one thing I really, really like about Sebastian Tregarthen is you could almost call him Johnny Hustle. He is always doing everything he can to prove that he belongs out there and to create chaos for defenders.
Helps his side win a set piece in a dangerous spot here. Tregarthen. Guyan will be the man to serve it. Tregarthen, back post. Tamori Taka redirects it back to the other post. Dick has to punch it away from danger. But a whistle and a foul is going to go against Birmingham's Thiago Suarez, who cannot believe the call.
Thiago Suarez not happy with the call, but we can get a better look here. I guess maybe he's jumping over the defender there, over Sample, but you know.
Maybe trying to use some shoulders as leverage there to jump up. Augie Williams making the run forward. Flag stays down for the moment, and it's going to stay down. Williams was on. Kavita out to greet him. Jay Patterson deals with the cross, sends it into the first row for a Riverhounds throw.
Yeah, that was very, very tight from Augie Williams. I'm not sure if he was on or not. We don't have VAR in the USL Championship, but according to the referee, he was on. So Legion FC, you have to make sure they make those adjustments.
4 goals scored this year for Augie Williams in his first season in Pittsburgh, but a longtime USL pro that's scored now 80 career regular season goals. Made a name for himself in his time with Charleston Battery. Barnes on the run, not going to get there. Now for a throw for Birmingham Legion. And Morgan, time for us to look at our keys to the match tonight. Let's start first with Pittsburgh. How do they get a road result here this evening?
Yeah, they need to win in transition. They're great defensively. They have to stay organized. That is something that is very key, but they will have opportunities to break on Legion FC, which is what they're so good at. And then Legion FC, the speed of play. They have to move the ball quickly. Too many times they get it and just take too many touches and the ball moves so slowly. And then they've got to take chances in attack. You know, being bold ends up paying off at times, especially in the attacking turn. And they're going to need to be bold tonight if they want to get 3 points.
Hounds pressure wins it back for a moment. Birmingham trying to break out the other side. Daly's not going to get to that, so Pittsburgh is going to win possession via a throw here. Biasi will be the man to put it back in play. Guy who's been with Pittsburgh a long time now, 4 seasons. He's played almost every game. He's only missed 1 regular season contest this year. That was the North Carolina matchup way back early part of the year. He missed due to a red card suspension. Ball intended for him. Daly instead wisely lets that go out of play. First start as a member of Birmingham Legion for Amir Daly tonight, by the way. 23-year-old former Duke Blue Devil on loan from FC Cincinnati 2. 29 minutes off the bench. Birmingham's defeat at the hands of Rhode Island and Jaeger Cup play on Wednesday. Get some extended run tonight and see what he can do in front of the home crowd for the very first time. So with his inclusion, plus Sam McElhatton getting another start tonight, Plus, of course, no Tyler Pasher. One of the more interesting 11s, Mark Briggs, has turned out here for the Legion. Good hold-up play from Damas. Sprays it out for Hamoda. Hamoda's cutback picked off.
You saw what he was trying to do there. He was trying to pick out Sam Shashua, and it's not a bad idea. It just doesn't come off. He ends up passing straight to Pittsburgh. It's almost like he read his eyes, but, disappointing for Birmingham in that moment. Great defense from Pittsburgh, and I believe it was Barnes who stepped into that pass to take the ball away. But when you have the opportunities and everybody's running towards their own goal from a defensive standpoint, the space always opens up behind, right? And so I think that's what Hamoda was trying to get, was that space in behind to find Sam Shashua, who would have been in a really good position to take a shot.
Factor keeps it moving. Biasi closed down quickly by Daly, forced backwards. Even first 14 minutes to this point, both sides looking for that killer opportunity. Hamoda reads that well to win it back. He's got Tabor Itaka running with him, but not that far in front of him. Comfy play in the end for Eric Dick. Throws it back out to his midfield to get things restarted. Midfield tonight, a Bradley Sample, Danny Griffin, and Charles All the rookie from Stetson, making just his 5th start of the year tonight, but a guy who came off the bench against Charleston, gave Pittsburgh a bit of a jolt there late in that game, as they were chasing and trailing in a game they ultimately lost at the hands of Charleston Battery. So he gets rewarded with the start tonight. And again, Birmingham able to win it back. Tough moment on the cutback for Hamoda, guy who had an unfortunate moment on Wednesday, play that ended up deciding that Rhode Island game. But Mark Briggs saying he just felt so bad for the teenager. The 17-year-old played so well up to that point. It was unfortunate the way the game unfolded that ended up being that play that proved to decide the match. Sent Rhode Island through to the Jaeger Cup semifinals. This time his throw leads to the foul. Ronaldo Damas bumped from behind by Sean Suber. Again, Birmingham Legion, another early set piece opportunity here inside the game's first 16 minutes.
Yeah, just right at 30 yards away from the goal here. It's going to be tough to beat Eric Dick from this far out, but looks as though he's going to line this up to try and get this past him.
It's Trey Garthen all by his lonesome. He will have a go. It deflects off the wall and out of play for a Birmingham Legion corner, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it looked like it had good shape on it from what we could see up here in the booth, but again, Trey Garthen, there's that man again. He's trying to get involved in the game. I think the more involved and the more touches he has, the better for Birmingham.
Trey Garthen plays this one short. Joshua right back to Trey Garthen, who collides and can't keep it.
And that's a poorly executed corner, and now Pittsburgh's on the break. This is where we were talking about and saying that they have the opportunity to beat Birmingham. Short corners like that, they work sometimes, they don't always work. And when they don't work, they are horrible to trying to defend.
Good work from Hamoda, who sprinted all the way across the field to cut out the immediate danger and at least give his teammates a chance to get back and get organized. Biasi forced backwards. Factor sprays it out the other side. Pittsburgh has had a decent amount of the ball here early, just haven't found much in the attacking third to this point. Robbie Mertz trying to change that. And taken off him again by Hamoda, who's had a couple of bright moments here to start tonight. Trey Garthen, a lot of dribbling in a tight space. Was he fouled? Referee says no. That certainly a foul on Sam McElhat. Free kick Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the referees have been a little bit more liberal with some of the physicality in the game tonight so far, and I don't mind it, right? You know, he's called the right fouls, but there's no foul there. Griffin goes in, he wins the ball in front of Trey Garthen, and then Legion FC ends up fouling Pittsburgh, just moments later, Al draws the foul against Mickelhatton there. An opportunity for Pittsburgh to get forward, create from a set piece.
So Birmingham had a bunch of early set pieces. Pittsburgh has one. Mertz delivers beyond everybody.
Yeah, it's a disappointing set piece for Pittsburgh, right? You can see what they're trying to do. He's trying to find somebody right on the corner of that 6 who can either head it on goal or head it back across for somebody to go on and knock in the goal, but it doesn't come off in that moment.
Birmingham wastes no time getting it back in play, building from the back off the goal kick. Kavita wearing the captain's armband tonight for the Legion. Good to see him back in the starting 11. He dealt with a hamstring injury of his own back in the early part of July that kept him out for some time. Thomas on the run. Dick plays sweeper keeper and sends it towards the midway stripe. Somehow that bent and stayed in play.
Great touch from Mertz there.
Mertz did win Pittsburgh a throw right in front of their own bench. Advanced USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches, expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Colossal Network and ESPN Plus. USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. If you were watching Golasso earlier in the week, you saw the semifinal matches get drawn. The USL Jägermeister Cup, Rhode Island taking on Sacramento Republic. Hartford taking on Greenville Triumph. Augie Williams on the turn, edge of the area, working on Kavita. Lays it off for Biasi. Danny Griffin working with Biasi on this left flank. Sample can't quite turn either. So far, Birmingham been an organized defensive side through the game's first 20 minutes. Mark Briggs certainly hoping that remains the case. Pressure from Damas applied there as Actor tried to spray it up the park. Another Pittsburgh throw coming.
Yeah, he's been really bright on the defensive side so far for Legion FC tonight. He's really kind of making a much more concerted effort to put pressure on Pittsburgh. That's 2 or 3 times now where he's done a really good job of that. We were a little critical of him, or I was a little critical of him on Wednesday when he came on after Pasher had been substituted. He wasn't directing play as well, but you see he's trying to go for it here.
Mertz spilled behind the play. Referee does go back and award that foul there. Lilly edged the technical area, trying to direct some traffic here for the Hounds as they try to find their way through this Birmingham side. Augie Williams has been tightly marked by Fonwell Kavita to start the night. Again, more pressure applied here from Tabor Itaka, and Damas forces it forward. Williams will get on the end of this. Barnes wants to lay it off. Barnes trying to make the run in behind. Kavita ushers it out of play. Goal kick coming here for Birmingham Legion. Birmingham fans, to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, be sure to follow at BHM Legion on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app today. Again, that's at BHM Legion on social media, and the Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. Suarez, a heavy touch, gives it up. Mertz wins it back, and here comes Pittsburgh. Biasi had options. Birmingham quickly trying to get organized again. And they do so.
It's good defensive work right from Birmingham after giving the ball away. A poor giveaway, right? Another unforced error, but if you get into that situation, if you're listening at home and you're a young player, if you give the ball away or your team gives the ball away in a position you weren't expecting them to, the best thing you can do is make sure that the team has to play backwards and can't play forwards. If they play backwards, you have done your team a huge favor, and you've given them the opportunity to reset themselves and reorganize to make sure that they are now properly set up to defend the next attack from your opponent.
Tough break there for All and Sample working together in midfield as the pass hit our referee. Trevor Wiseman gets it back in play. Pittsburgh continue to play with it at their feet. They've had the ball over 70% of the time through the first half of this opening 45 minutes.
I am a little surprised by that because I would have thought Pittsburgh would have sat in just a little bit more, and then they would have allowed Birmingham to have the ball and then make mistakes and then counter on them. Instead, they've had the majority of the ball, and it's Birmingham who's trying to almost play on the counter tonight.
Birmingham played against the ball a large chunk of the night on Wednesday against Rhode Island. Likewise, so far through the first 23 minutes of this contest. Samir Daly brings that down with Mertz on his back and couldn't keep it in play. Fresh ball for Luke Biasi. Fans select as the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. The Academy to the Big League, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, player's choice. Birmingham bench wanted a foul there on Tabor Itaka, did not get one.
That's been consistent so far from referee Wiseman tonight, so I'm okay with that, right? It didn't look like there was a lot of contact. And Tabor Itaka went down, but again, as long as the referee is consistent, the players aren't really going to play too much. It's when he becomes inconsistent that's when they start to get upset and frustrated, and you don't know how to adjust and play.
Michael Hatton trying to build out of the back, had it taken off him. Sample, edge of the area, lays it off Griffin. Has to go out wide with it. Barnes tees it up for service, drives it through there off of Mertz. Shashua to the rescue for Birmingham defensively. Tabor Itaka able to hold it up for a moment. Patterson finally provides the no-nonsense clearance, and Ronaldo Damas gets on the end of it. Damas has a bit of support arriving here in Tregarthen. Tregarthen still going. Tregarthen trying to turn the corner but couldn't keep the shot down.
That's really good work from Damas to chase that down and then play Tregarthen in there. Tregarthen doesn't get the shot on target or the opportunity that he probably really wanted. I thought he would have hit it a little bit quicker, but instead it takes an extra touch, gets by the defender. He's got plenty of pace to do that. He had the opportunity, I thought, to take maybe one more touch there to maybe put that back across from Ronaldo Damas, but decides to go for goal himself, which, you can't blame a striker for doing that. I think the best strikers are the greedy strikers.
Tregarthen's guy who's been creating those goal-scoring opportunities for Birmingham as of late. A couple of goals in the league, plus a goal in the cup. Scored at Phoenix, set up Birmingham's lone goal last home game against Hartford Athletic. Birmingham looking for a result here at home tonight, which will be their first one in a little while. They got a big result at home against Forward Madison that got them through into the knockout stages of the Jaeger Cup. But you're going to go all the way back to June 18th to find Birmingham's last win here at Protective Stadium. As Morgan said off the top of the show, they lost 4-1 here at home to Hartford. They lost 1-0 to Colorado Springs. They drew Charleston 0-0 early part of July. Daly trying to spray it away from tight quarters, did so. Michael Hatton and A.J. Patterson trying to clean it up. Delgado off his line, finally collects it.
Yeah, Barnes is way out of position now. Birmingham could find a way to get the ball out there. Doesn't look like they'll be able to do it quick enough, but tell you what, that's not a bad ping from Delgado there.
Delgado sprays it through. Tabor Itaka's going to get there. He's got Hamoda working with him.
What a ball from Delgado, by the way. That was impeccable.
Impressive service from the teenager. That is certainly one of his strengths in goal.
I genuinely thought the opportunity had gone, but if you can hit a ball like that, you can unlock a lot of things, and sure enough, he does so just there.
So Birmingham trying to enjoy a little bit of possession, something they haven't had a whole lot of here early. Damas working well with Sam McElhatton. Tabor Itaka made the run. Instead, it's Hamoda who joins the attacking third.
I would have liked to see him serve that ball. I think there's the opportunity there to do it. Damas is a forward who loves service. He may be 3v1 in there, but the right service will unlock a goal. And you have to be bold if you want to score.
Daly does find Damas with a well-placed header. Damas fires. Dick can't save it. Ronaldo Damas scores from distance, and Birmingham Legion have struck first tonight.
And it's an odd goal. And I said, just you have to be bold if you want to score goals. And if you don't shoot, you don't score. But Eric Dick is he's gonna want to forget this as quickly as he can. He's really frustrated with himself, and rightfully so. That's one of those. When you won the Golden Glove last year, you know you're good enough. But when you make a mistake like that, it hurts your team. And it's those type of goals that Pittsburgh has been giving up lately that Bob Lilly talked to us about earlier this week and said they have to avoid those types of situations and goals. So now they're going to have to fight back into this game if they want to get 3 points. But look, sometimes you just need a little bit of luck. And Ronaldo Damassi hits it well. It looks like he hit it very cleanly. You see if it knuckles here at all. There's not going to be a lot of spin on that ball, but listen, it counts the same. It's still 1-0 Birmingham in that situation, whether it was a absolute screamer into the top corner or if it slips through the goalkeeper's fingers like that one.
Goal brought to you by AT&T, the 9th goal scored this year by Ronaldo Thomas. Birmingham Legion have a lead here at home. After the light show, we'll see if Eric Dick and the Riverhounds can recover. They've had so much of the ball here early, but now find themselves trailing.
Yep. And this year, Pittsburgh has averaged 1 goal per game. They have 1 goal exactly. So Legion FC have conceded much more than 1 per game. But Birmingham have not led at halftime so far this year.
It's been a team, Birmingham Legion, that have played from behind quite a bit. They have rescued some points from losing positions, but have not enjoyed a whole lot of leads. They do have a lead here as we approach the half-hour mark, and Robbie Mertz gets absolutely clattered by Daly. This is the game's first yellow card, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Daly trying to plead his case. Captain Fanwa Kavita over there as well, but Trevor Wiseman not having it. As we get another look at it, a couple of different angles.
Yeah, you see why Daly's immediate reaction is to throw his hand up. He does catch Mertz on the knee there a little bit, but almost as if Mertz was diving into him is probably what Daly is saying. And Mertz is, as soon as he gets fouled, he is looking for the referee like, come on, are you really not going to call that? But a super dangerous opportunity for Pittsburgh here. Birmingham have to make sure they stay switched on.
Mertz serves from the edge of the playing surface, headed away from danger. Sample does well to keep it with Pittsburgh for a moment. Barnes to the top of the area. Williams went to ground, didn't get the whistle he was searching for. Now Pittsburgh will have a chance to regain their shape here. Just the 5th time in USL Championship play this year that Birmingham Legion has scored first. Birmingham Legion 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0. A rare mistake. One of the best goalkeepers in USL Championship, Eric Dick, couldn't keep out Ronaldo Damas' shot. We'll see how that impacts the way the rest of this game unfolds.
Yeah, Legion FC have another 15, 16 minutes to defend and make sure they take care of this lead here. They have conceded 20 goals in the first half so far this year. That's 1 per game. So on average, they need to make sure, again, Fernando Delgado, he may be 19 years old, but he cannot act like a 19-year-old. He must demand perfection from his defensive backs and his teammates in front of him. Fanuel Kavita, the captain, right in front of him. He's got to demand perfection from the guys on the right and left of him, and AJ, Patterson, and Suarez.
Good composure here from Delgado, who's again still trying to build out of the back arm. Birmingham, this pass picked off by Barnes.
Yeah, I don't love them trying to build out of the back in that situation. There, you get to a point where if you've got to go back to your goalkeeper and they've got 3 players in that box, that ball just needs to go.
Good turn here for the teenager Hamoda, but he's dribbling himself into a crowd. Patterson does get it out the other side. Thiago Suarez, a bit more space to work with on the right flank. were able to collect. As Pittsburgh trying to build in the attacking phase once again. Moritaka, can he keep this in play? Yes, he can, and he's got room to roam.
Tregarthen and Adamas are there with him.
Moritaka, edge of the area. A couple of hounds over to greet him. Tregarthen collects. Joshua out the other side for Suarez. It was under hit. Credit to Augie Williams, who tracked back, did the work defensively.
No need to foul here if you're Birmingham. There's no need. There's no need. Robbie Mertz is going against 6 players. You don't need to foul him there. It's fantastic work from Robbie Mertz. Yeah, I have to give all the credit to him there. He does a very, very difficult job. Keeps possession, keeps it at his feet. McElhatton gets spun there, and then again, and Suarez really feels he wants the ball first, but still, tons of credit to Robbie Mertz there for doing all the work that he did to fend off 2-3 defenders.
Serve played here. Delgado two-handed punches this away. Griffin trying to keep Joshua on his back, and it is going to be a foul against the Birmingham midfielder. So another set-piece opportunity here for the Riverhounds, who are starting to knock on the door after a bit of a slow start. Yes, they had all the ball, but haven't really turned it into attacking danger all that much so far in this first half. They've started to generate opportunities to serve in dangerous balls. Another opportunity here. First header is a good one. Second one from Barnes. Gets it back to the penalty spot. Mertz lurking, edge of the area. Gets it on his right, chips it in. Hamoda a header, and an almost second header was waiting for Augie Williams. Daly had to get it right. It's out for a Riverhounds corner.
Yeah, he was right place, right time. Good job defensively there. But again, Robbie Mertz, talked about him early on in the broadcast. He is a thorn in Birmingham's side, and he is continuing to do so tonight.
Looks like a change here in the referee's decision. No corner. Instead, the offside flag came up late. Free kick here for Birmingham and Fernando Delgado.
Yeah. So, interesting stat. Pittsburgh, when they're on the road and concede first, they have no wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. Overall this year, when they concede first, they have no wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses. So Birmingham, on the flip side, when they've scored first, they have 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 losses. So there's still anything that can happen in this game with these 2 teams. Pittsburgh have certainly been on the front foot, been more dangerous. Haven't tested the goalkeeper yet, but they've had more possession. They've looked more likely of the teams to score. But again, that huge mistake from Eric Dick has put his team in a 1-0 hole.
Griffin sprays it out wide, Parent Barnes. Read it out there by Moritaka.
And you see how deep Legion FC are. Off screen, you can't see it. From the press box here, we have a great view, but they are very organized. Ronaldo Damas is setting the lines 10 yards inside of their own half when Pittsburgh have the ball and are starting to break through. So that's very, very difficult to break down if you're Pittsburgh. And now they're playing on the counter.
Great run forward from Joshua. He's got Damas working with him. Dick cuts out the service. Collides with Ronaldo Damas, who's down.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate collision. But listen, I said you have to be bold in order to score goals. This isn't the best ball from Sam Shashua, but Ronaldo Damas is brave. He goes in to try and score the goal. And he's got every right to, right? But I would have liked to see that ball hit a little bit earlier from Sam Shashua. We'll see if we get another look from a different angle. But once he was in, I felt he could have played that ball across in behind the defense on his first touch. But again, credit to Ronaldo Damas and Eric Dick for both, being brave. 1, to stop the goal, and 2, to try and score it.
Damas okay to continue. Dick sends it away. Mertz, well done to touch it once, then twice. Couldn't touch it a third time, though. Kavita gets it away from it. Moving to the ground to win it back for a moment. There's Sam Joshua again. He's looked lively the past few minutes. Tregarthen working with Preston Tabor Itaka. Tabor Itaka still chasing after it. Got cut down late, but had lost possession by the time Danny Griffin's challenge had come in.
Yeah, Danny Griffin did a good job there. I think Tabor Itaka had tried to pass that ball to Tregarthen there, but Griffin, captain, steps in, makes a big tackle. Now they've got their foot on the ball again.
170 plus appearances for Danny Griffin as a member of Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and a challenge on Preston Tabor Itaka has sent him back to the turf. So an injury stoppage here as Tabor Itaka is down. He's going to receive some medical attention and function as a bit of a break for both these two sides here. Hopefully Tabor Itaka is okay. While we have a moment, fans, I'll remind you Legion FC head on the road for their next couple of matches. Saturday, August 30th, they take on Orange County SC at 9 o'clock Central Time. And Saturday, September 6th in Oklahoma against FC Tulsa at 7:30 Central. Both those matches can be seen right here on My 68 in Birmingham, or you can watch the national feed on ESPN+. Of course, always follow along at PHM Legion on X for live match updates. Legion FC is back at Protective Stadium on Wednesday, September 17th to host Tampa Bay Rowdies. That game kicking off at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Central. Get your tickets to that match today, bhmlegion.com/tickets. Good news for Legion fans, Preston Tabor Itaka is jogging off under his own power. Looks like he's going to be okay to continue after a moment. Meanwhile, at that break, Morgan Bob Lilly had the entirety of his team circled around him as they try to change the direction of this game. Final few minutes of this opening 45.
Yeah, you read his lips there. He's telling his teammate, hey, cross it, man. He's not happy with how things are going. And, of course, when you concede a goal like the one you just conceded, you, of course, don't love that. But, it can't take the wind out of the sails for all of your team. You guys have to continue to fight and continue to play forward because what you've been doing hasn't been bad.
Biasi, was he tripped up? Referee says no. McElhatton went to ground as well. Referee waved that one away too. Griffin lost his footing. Pardon me, that was Tregarthen that got clattered. McElhatton to the rescue defensively as Pittsburgh have to rebuild once again. And again, the Riverhounds have had the bulk of the ball. They've controlled the tempo most of the night, but still without a shot through 41 minutes. Augie Williams trying to change that. Can't as Kavita sprays that away.
The one thing that stands out to me about Legion FC defensively tonight so far is the energy that they are putting in and the pressure that they're putting on Pittsburgh once they get into, certain parts of the field.
So far, so good in that regard. On the turn, Griffin, Sample in between his two defenders. What looked promising there from Charles All. Zuber keeps it moving. Vactor. Birch checks in for a touch. Biasi lobs it forward. Williams can't get on the end of it. So far, this back three tonight of Kavita, Patterson, and Hamoda has done the job. Again, back on Wednesday, yes, Birmingham struggled to create at Rhode Island, but Mark Briggs was very quick to say he was very pleased with the defensive effort, especially the effort of the group overall. And outside of the one mistake from Hamoda, they didn't allow a whole lot of dangerous opportunities for Rhode Island in that game either.
They really didn't. I mean, and that's a positive step forward. You and I have called this team and called their games all season and got to see them several times. So we've seen the progress that they're trying to make. And the mark for me, I think, when Mark Briggs first took over from Tom Sohn was mid to late August is when this team really, really needs to start to see major changes, and they really need to start to turn the corner and start to get the results and play in the way that Mark Briggs wants them to play.
Yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm, shown there to the teenager, Ms. Hamoda, for that lead challenge on Charles All. He's a bit gimpy getting up.
You see here, Hamoda doing everything he can. Again, that energy, but he's just a little bit late. All gets in front of him, so this is one of those ones. If it's the first foul in the game, first few fouls for 5 minutes, I don't think you give a card. But here, your 44th minute, he is from behind. I don't have any issues with the card there.
So both wingbacks now for Birmingham Legion on yellow cards the remainder of the night. Something to keep an eye on as Pittsburgh start throwing more bodies forward. Defensive work there from A.J. Patterson, and he was fouled in the process as well. So free kick coming here for Birmingham Legion. Fans, a reminder, you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on Through the End. Sebastian Tregarthen gets forward in a hurry. Birmingham wasted no time putting it back in play, and Tabor Itanka didn't miss the frame by much.
That's a brilliant counterattack from Birmingham right there. I looked down to check some notes, and I'm not sure who hit the ball, the diagonal ball over to Tregarthen, but a great ball to Tregarthen. Gets down, it puts the ball across. Tabor Itanka doesn't miss by much.
Preston Tabor Itanka has brought some energy to this Birmingham side so far in this first half. Almost had a wonderful moment there. If he could keep that down. Now Pittsburgh trying to create something the other direction, all on the turn. Has Barnes running down that right flank. Ronaldo Damas, the striker, tracking back defensively. Barnes turns the corner but couldn't get the cross away in time. It rolled out of play.
That's not where you want to see Ronaldo Damas, but at the same time, that's a great effort from him. Here's the other chance from Birmingham. Tregarthen does a great job, pulls it back just over the bar from Tabor Itanka. But that's really good work from Tregarthen to actually stop on a dime. And then, again, we talked about earlier, when you're running towards the goal is when Hamoda played a ball back, and it was picked off by, I believe I said it was Barnes, but it was I believe it was actually All. But the space is opening up behind, and that's exactly what Tregarthen was looking for there, and it nearly paid off.
3 minutes of stoppage time confirmed by our fourth official, brought to you by UAB Medicine. A free kick coming here for Pittsburgh, and a yellow card for the kick away after the fact, shown Sam Shashua.
Yeah, and the referees have been very clear. We've had multiple calls with Pro to hear what they're doing and what they're going to be strict on, and they're very strict on that. And so the players know that. Shashua goes and kicks the ball away and gets a yellow card. He can't be upset about that. But so now Mark Briggs is going to have multiple players, both his wingbacks and Shashua, who's been pretty bright tonight so far. I like the effort that he's made and the connected passes that he's been able to create. But all three of those players now on cards, you have to think to yourself, you can't afford losing one of them or risking them getting a second yellow and now having to play down a man. So they have to play differently because of that. And now does Briggs have to make some different decisions?
And a dangerously high boot here from Daly, one of the guys that was on a yellow card. Free kick here for Pittsburgh, and a decision coming for Trevor Wiseman, our referee. This is going to be a significant moment in the match, perhaps, depending on what the decision is here.
When I saw it live, I felt that All stuck his head down. Now, don't get me wrong. All stuck his head down, but Daly stuck his foot up. So we'll see how this looks. I mean, ball pops up. All was down quite a bit when that ball, again, you see him, he squats down, but I mean, Daly, listen, that could have gone either way. I think Daly at the end of the day is probably a lucky boy to be on the field still.
So free kick here for the Hounds, right outside of the area. Mert slings it in to the back post. Almost an opportunity there for Pittsburgh to try to turn that goalward, but it goes wanting in the end.
Yeah, Pittsburgh gets the first touch and flicks it onto the back post here. but they just can't knock it in from close range. Still a little too high.
Two center backs combining there. Vector got the first header. Edrock was lurking at the back post, but couldn't connect. Is that the last real action we have in the opening 45 minutes? Again, a minimum of just 3 added minutes. It's the indication from our 4th official. Jay Patterson plays that on a big turf hop, and that is indeed the end of the first half. Birmingham Legion will go into the halftime dressing room with a lead thanks to that strike from Ronaldo Damas. The Legion's headman is down on the field with our Kennedy Baxter. Kennedy?
Thanks, guys. Here with Coach. Coach, coming into this game without key player Tyler Pasher, what was the message and plan for your offense?
Next man up, right? It's a big loss to lose Tyler, but we can't rest on our laurels and worry about things we can't control. So it's next man up, next man into the game, and go and show what you can do. And I think the first half there, we've worked hard, got ourselves in a good position, and now we've got to carry on.
So coming into this without him, you've seen getting that early goal. What have you seen that you've really liked, and what are some things that you want to see change?
I think the energy's been good, and I think we've created some opportunities. We've defended very well and limited them to set pieces. So we've just got to keep our structure and keep going.
Thank you, Coach. Morgan Blake, back to you.
Thanks, Kennedy. Mark Briggs pretty pleased with the effort so far through 45 minutes. His side leading Pittsburgh here at Protective Stadium at the break. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we're going to look around the USL Championship on a busy Saturday night, plus look at some first half highlights and stats. That all when we return to the Magic City. Our score, Birmingham Legion 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0. We'll be back in a moment.
It's time to hammer down. Single game tickets on sale now. Get your tickets today.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then, with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite. That's just a recipe for a good time, you know?
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
USL 2 National Championship between Ballard FC and the Vermont Green. This is a moment very few of us have ever seen. This is a special moment for soccer and for Burlington. It is going to be a big one. These two teams are loaded with talent. They've both led their conferences, their divisions throughout the year, and a chance for Ballard to make it 2 titles in 3 years, and a chance for Vermont Green to do something no one has done since 2010 and go perfect. And they're about 3 points to the spot. He rolls it off the post and in. And Vermont Green take the lead in the National Championship at Virtue Field. There he is. Coast to top once again. Day recovers it. Curls it back in. Marshall puts it on. And Kissel, the national championship goal scorer in NCAA, puts it in 2025. Vermont is the king of soccer. As the Vermont Green win their first ever USL 2 title. And green is the color of victory once again in Burlington, Vermont.
BYU is the place to be here tonight as Utah United and NC Courage battling out here for a national championship.
NC Courage looking to defend their title, and Utah United looking to make some history with the first expansion team to win a USL W League final.
Now another shot that falls, it goes in the back of the net! And just like that, Utah United off the foot of Evans Tostado. And now Blood puts it in the back of the net! It's 3-0! Sends one in the back of the net! It's 4-0!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We're here to support the crest, the club, and the community.
We don't stop chanting, we don't stop drumming,
yelling and screaming and chanting.
We're following wherever, pretty much. That's just the love that we have for our team.
We want to be the loudest people, and we want you to hear where we are at.
People in this town love this team, pack these stands out for every single game.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day. What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
This week on USL All Access, we give you the fastest 30-second preview in USL Championship history. You ready? Loud United in the East, back. Lexington in the West, back. Playoff Patino in San Antonio FC, he's back. Jaeger Cup is back. And pro referees pull back the curtain to talk about their daily routine and how we can help grow the game alongside them.
Welcome back here to Birmingham, Alabama. Our coverage of the USL Championship tonight from the Magic City. And right now it's the Magic City's team who enjoy a halftime lead. Birmingham Legion 1, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0. Gardner Morgan, Copes, Kennedy Baxter, your crew tonight here in Birmingham, Alabama. Busy night in the USL Championship. One game that's not being played right now in Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston and Loudoun rescheduled for tomorrow. It has been an absolute deluge in the low country. Some 8 to 10 inches of rain in some parts. Most of the low country still under flash flood watch throughout the rest of today. So they're going to hopefully get that game in tomorrow. But elsewhere in the Eastern Conference, maybe the hottest team in the league right now is Hartford Athletic.
I certainly think so. When they came to Birmingham a few weeks ago and scored 4 against Birmingham, it's so funny. We just talked about Rhode Island and how stout they are defensively. concede 3 to Hartford.
Speaking of conceding 3, Indy 11 scored 3 in the space of about 20 minutes to take out Miami FC by a count of 3-2. And still some late night soccer coming your way over on ESPN Plus, including big time showdown between Phoenix Rising and Colorado Springs Switchbacks from Phoenix. That game kicking off at 9:30 Central Time, again over on ESPN Plus. Across the rest of the USL Championship, of course, one of the teams playing tonight making big news. Historic Highmark Stadium is going to be expanded in a big way. Some 15,000 seats plus plenty of renovations in and around the area. If it's going to look anything like the renderings that we saw earlier in the week, it could be a splendid, splendid venue for soccer.
Absolutely. It looks beautiful. Pittsburgh already has one of the best views, but what they were doing, expanding to 15,000 seats, it looked immaculate.
We'll see if they can execute that vision as the Hounds continue to build towards status in the league in the USL pyramid. The Jägermeister Cup draw was earlier this week as well. Rhode Island are through despite their results at the hands of Hartford in the league here tonight. Halftime stats look like this. As we said, Morgan Pittsburgh Riverhounds enjoyed plenty of the ball. They controlled the tempo of the game by and large for the opening 45 minutes, but all that possession, just the one shot to show for it.
Absolutely, and it's what you do with the ball when you have it that's most important. You can have the ball 70% of the time, but if you don't create any shots out of it, it's not good.
Just one shot for Pittsburgh. Birmingham Legion had 4 shots, the one on target. Found the 2 paws of Eric Dick, but got through his hands off the boot of Ronaldo Damas and in. And as such, Birmingham Legion enjoys a lead at the half.
We are Altec, Birmingham-based since 1929. We set the gold standard in equipment and services that connect us to the power and communications we all need. From bucket trucks to digger derricks, the equipment we make helps our customers and our communities dig deeper and reach higher. We're a team. We're a family. We're looking for someone just like you. Hammer down and team up with Altec. Learn more at jobs.altec.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of the USL Championship tonight from Birmingham, Alabama. Thanks for watching us, whether you're watching on My 68s here in Alabama, ESPN Plus across the country, or up in Pittsburgh. Glad to have you along for the ride. 45 minutes in the books between the Hounds and the Legion. First half unfolded like this. Birmingham Morgan had ample chances from set pieces early.
They did, and Eric Dick, this one ends up being offside, but Eric Dick makes a fantastic save. He's a really, really good goalkeeper. Does a fantastic job, but here he makes a huge mistake, and he lets the ball slip through his hands. a little bit more physical play. And Sam Shashua, that's careless, right? There's no need to do that and get a card there. This is the play where Daly is probably a little lucky to be on the field still. And a chance came out of that, but did a good job, headed the ball away. This one right here, this was a great chance I felt for Birmingham, and I don't think the ball from Sam Shashua was as good as it could have been. This is the look. I would have loved to see him hit this ball a little bit early. He slowed down just a little bit to take a look. He could have whipped this ball in just into this space for Damas to run onto, but he decided to wait just a little bit, and the result is he's not able to wrap his foot around it. Eric Dick is super brave, comes out, stands tall, prevents Damas from doing this. And then I love this from Trey Garthen. That little turn on a dime opens up everything in behind, and Tabor Itaka doesn't miss by much.
Second half just about to get underway. No announced changes for Birmingham Legion. There have been 2 changes for Pittsburgh before we get this second half going. As Preston Tabor Itaka waits for the go-ahead to restart things in the second 45. Once he does so, we'll get to the double change Bob Lilly has made before the second half commences. Here we go. Birmingham Legion in black, Pittsburgh Riverhounds light gray and checkerboard yellow. Second half is underway. Pittsburgh's 2 changes. Robbie Mertz out after 45 minutes. Chase Boone comes in, the 29-year-old who was just recently signed about 10 days ago by the Hounds. Played 21 minutes against Charleston in his Pittsburgh debut. He'll play the final 45 tonight, and then Junior Etu has come on for Luke Biasi. Foul there is going to give Pittsburgh a free kick. So Bob Lilly not wasting any time. Couple of changes, couple of fresh bodies trying to change the picture here. Second half on the road. Boone right away gets a nice header off, starts things into the attacking third. Boone on the run, not going to get there in front of Hamoda. Bodied by the teenager, out a goal kick. Chase Boone played his college soccer at Division III Redlands. Started his career in Denmark, then back stateside with San Diego Loyal and Monterey Bay. But the newest member of Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they look for a little bit more help in the attacking third. And as Morgan said, this is a team in Pittsburgh that's averaging almost right at 1 goal a game so far this year. Another free kick coming here for the Riverhounds as Ronaldo Damas is a bit slow to get up. And now Morgan Pittsburgh, despite all the possession, all the control in the first half, they've got to chase some things here. This scoreline continues to hold, and this second half continues to move on.
They certainly do, and they have to do it without Robbie Mertz, who I mentioned has always been a thorn in Birmingham's side. I'm wondering if some of the fouls that he took in the first half maybe gave him a little bit of a knock and just wasn't comfortable continuing. But that's not like Robbie Mertz. Genuinely, he's a really, really tough, hard as nails type player, and was really the most dangerous for Pittsburgh, I felt, in the first half. So I think that's an interesting change. Hopefully Robert Mertz is okay, but again, Pittsburgh's going to have to find some creativity for somewhere else.
Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more for the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Birmingham fans in attendance tonight that got their tickets from SeatGeek also got free sleeveless hoodie, first 1,000 through the door. A few fans down below rocking those as the evening winds down. Sam McElhatton there, able to collect for Birmingham. Sam Shashua.
Yeah, right there as Birmingham won the ball back, there were 5 players right around Pittsburgh. I believe it was Al who maybe lost possession there, but still, 5 players just swarmed. Birmingham are picking the right spots to go and win the ball from Pittsburgh. Poor first touch there from A.J. Patterson. Wasn't the greatest ball from Delgado, but again, I like the energy. Mark Briggs, he spoke about at halftime. He likes the energy from the guys. I think it's been really good so far. It's been different than what you've seen from Birmingham previously this season.
So we're coming here for the Legion. Samir Daly looks to get a fresh ball. Sebastian Tregarthen, I think, needs a fresh shin guard or something on his right leg. He was gesturing to the bench that he needed something changed. Staley was fouled. Another Birmingham free kick forthcoming. But they take in short order. See if Fonwell Kavita can go the full 90 tonight, wearing the captain's armband tonight with no Tyler Pasher available. Ronaldo Damas gets on the end of this. Dick denies it with his chest. The rebound just a bit tall.
Yeah, Tabor Itaka was running onto that ball. He's not super happy with Craig Arthur for taking that off of him, but, you know, again, not anything you can fault Craig Arthur for trying to shoot. I mean, again, I say the best strikers are gritty strikers, and as a former number 9 myself, if I had a chance to shoot, I was going to take it.
Eric Dick, an unconventional save that time on Damas.
It really was. Dick just made himself really big and did a good job and kept the ball out.
After he couldn't deny Damas in the first half with his hands, was able to do so with his chest that time around. This is chipped towards the corner. Williams not going to get there in front of Kavita, who was the last man to touch it. The answer is Kavita. It's a corner coming for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Legion FC, again, we talked about defensively. They have to stay organized on set pieces. It's very important for Delgado. I know he's only 19, but he needs to be barking at people. He needs to be demanding things from folks. He's very quiet right now, which means he either likes what he sees or he's just not confident enough to direct those who are older. But set pieces have been something where Legion FC have conceded from.
Second corner of the night for Pittsburgh. Served in to a dangerous area. Out here for all, another serve beyond everybody. Williams tracks it down, trying to keep it in play, does so, but only to a black shirt, Sam McElhatton. And Thomas trying to start the counter, couldn't connect. The bit of pressure supplied there by Bradley Sample.
I don't mind that from Damas. What he's trying to do is he saw Tabor Itaka, who, if you can get him the ball in open field with 30 yards between the last defender and the goalkeeper, he's going to push it past it. He's probably going to beat everybody to it. So I like what Damas was trying to do. It just didn't come off. Good defensive work, good hustle from Pittsburgh to make sure they kept it out.
Two getting his first touches since coming on. Edrock out the other side. Barnes. Legion have some defending to do here. Looks like they're a bit misshapen for the moment as they try to get organized. Sample out the other side. At 2. Serve cut out by Daly, but off his studs. Third Pittsburgh corner coming. Can the Hounds make something of these set pieces? Another serve coming here from All. In swinging and dealt with by A.J. Patterson.
That's a great header from Patterson.
Chipped back into the mix. Suber, was he on? No, the flag's up. Delgado makes the save regardless, and Birmingham defensively have done the job once again. Now for Pittsburgh, they're trying to change this game. Our Kennedy Baxter down below got a chance to catch up with Bob Lilly and their bench before the second half got started. Kennedy, what was the message over there?
Thanks, guys. Getting a chance to talk to Coach Lilly, he said that his team has been productive in the offensive half, but that they need to take more shots and be riskier. He said that the most important thing going into this half is for his team to shut down Birmingham and not give them a second goal. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Morgan. And really, if you're Bob Lilly, you can't be that displeased with the way you played defensively. The one mistake so far, the difference in the game.
Yeah, it really is. And again, when you have a guy and a goalkeeper like Eric Dick who makes a mistake, goalkeepers make mistakes. When they make them, though, they are the most high-profile mistakes made because they are the last line of defense. And so when they make a mistake, everybody sees it and notices it. So he needs to make sure that as a coach, and he's been doing this so long, I know he's done a great job of this. You got to build Eric Dick back up to make sure that he knows that, hey, you're still going to play a vital part of this game, and you still need to be switched on and forget about it. You just need to forget about it because, you know, it happens. And unfortunately, it was tonight. So you need to, again, make sure that you are switched on and continue to do what you do on a daily basis for us and stop goals.
Sargi made one big save in the second half, denying Damas, who was looking for a brace. Griffin taken off it by Tabor Itaka.
Really, really good pressure again for Birmingham.
Chance to counter here. Joshua. St. McElhatton's got some space. Opted to go to his left rather than his right. Joshua closed down by Augie Williams, who tracks back defensively to do the dirty work and win the free kick.
If I'm Mark Briggs and I'm thinking about what changes do I want to make in this second half to impact the game in a positive way, I think Shashua could be one of the guys that gets pulled maybe in the next 5 or 6 minutes. He is on a card. You don't want to go and go down a man, but I could see Shashua coming off here in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Again, in the first half, Sam Sashua, Mir Daly, and Ramiz Hamoda all booked, all playing on yellow cards. Drock had that pass cut out by Hamoda, who outside of that yellow card has been pretty good defensively tonight.
Yeah, and again, you talked about him earlier tonight. He had a good match against Rhode Island. He just made one mistake, but again, when you make mistakes at this level, you should be expected to be punished, and he was, and it was the lone goal in that game that had Birmingham knocked out.
Two trying to connect with All. All couldn't keep it in play, but it was last touched by the Legion. 10 minutes into the second half, where scoreline remains as it has been since the 28th minute. Ronaldo Damas' goal, the difference as it stands. What a massive 3 points this would be for Birmingham Legion, who are starving for results like this as they try to push their way back above the playoff line in the Eastern Conference. As it stands, if Birmingham got 3 points tonight, they would be within one of Indy 11, who currently occupy the 8th seed in the East. Of course, Pittsburgh Riverhounds came into the night 5th. Their goal, trying to get into that top 4. They've got work to do right now. Augie Williams a chance here. Augie Williams has his shot blocked by Kavita, whose positioning was perfect. Griffin picks it up. Sample. All goes out the other side. Etu. Etu delivers a serve, dealt with by Suarez. Tabor Itaka clears it away.
That's not a bad idea from Tabor Itaka. Had he put a little angle on it, he could have maybe given Damas a better chance to get there. That's really good defending from Hamoda. And now Birmingham really have a chance to break. They need to go. Don't slow down. Keep going.
Tabor Itaka wants to dribble at the defense. Lays it off, top of the box. Sebastian Tregarthen right at Dick, who hangs on this time.
Yeah, he bobbled that one a little bit too. That's really good work from Birmingham. I love Tabor Itaka. I think has been a really, really bright addition to this match tonight. He does a really good job of taking on the defender. Hamoda does a good job, really, in kind of getting the defenders away just a little bit in a natural way. But that opens up for Tregarthen to take a hit. He just hits it right at Eric Dick.
So a couple of shots on frame here for Birmingham in this second half. Still just the 2 shots total tonight for Pittsburgh. Let's see if they start to take a few more risks going forward with a little more than a half hour to go. Edrock's got some room on this right side. Puerto Rican international has turned himself into a big piece of this Pittsburgh team this summer. Etu. Vector gets it back out wide. Etu, who's got a bit of space, gets an early ball in. AJ Patterson, no nonsense, clears it over the top and out.
Yeah, I don't like that header from AJ Patterson. You will like it if you're a Pittsburgh fan, but
so another corner coming here for the Hounds. They had just one in the first half. Long ball over the top of everybody and a wasted effort in the end. Hamoda kept it in play over near the touchline and wants to start the counter the other way. Joshua working forward with Tabor Itaka. And in the end, it comes out for a Pittsburgh throw. Fans, you can watch the USL Championship on Spanish on Through the End, nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Working with Augie Williams out in front now. St. McElhatton fights his way back in front. He wins Birmingham a throw. Tonight, just the 5th league start for St. McElhatton. The Australian midfielder was brought in back in April. It's been more of a bench piece for Mark Briggs, but given his performances as of late, started to see his name written in the 11 a little bit more often. Got the start on Wednesday against Rhode Island. Back in the starting 11 tonight. Birmingham team that has needed midfielders. He's looked good this evening. Boone, good hold-up play. Does get it through to Williams. He's being hounded by A.J. Patterson. Joshua tracks back defensively to win it back. Tregarthen surrounded. Daly clears it up the line. And that's going to fall kindly for Ronaldo Damas. Tabor Itaka tries to dummy it through and turn around Edrock. Can he turn the corner? Not quite, but he does win Birmingham their 2nd corner of the evening, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and that's really, really good work from Legion FC there. They get it, they win the ball in midfield. Damas gets it to Moda. Lovely little dummy from Tabor Itaka, and Vidrick is chasing Tabor Itaka in that situation. Earns a corner for his team. The best part about that, they did it all very quickly. The speed of play was good. That's what unlocked Pittsburgh in that moment. We talked about that being a key to the game. The speed of play has to be good.
Tregarthen over by that corner flag. See if Birmingham can work something out of this set piece. First things first, Trevor Wiseman, our referee, giving a warning. That crowd of bodies in and around the mouth of goal. Tregarthen delivers to the back post over the top of everybody.
That's unfortunate. It's wasteful, right? Any team, any player is going to be, any fan is going to be upset when they see that their team gives away or just squanders a corner like that.
More than an hour gone tonight. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes, Kennedy Baxter, your crew here at Protective Stadium. Birmingham Legion lead in a game they would love to have tonight. Trying to fight their way back closer to the playoff line. It's the Pittsburgh side that is well inside the playoff line as it stands. So far, this Birmingham side has done the job defensively. They've held the Riverhounds to just 2 shots total. Nothing that has really troubled Fernando Delgado. Birmingham have put 3 shots on target, including 2 in the second half. One in the first half was the one that beat Ronaldo Damas.
An interesting stat. Pittsburgh have already attempted 385 passes. And in the 57th minute, right, this is 5 minutes ago, they had exceeded their average number of passes attempted in a game. So that shows you how much of the ball that they've had, which is not normal for them.
Not a bad serve, but over the top of everybody again. And Morgan, it's those moments right for Pittsburgh. They've had the ball, but working into the attacking third, and they have not found that final ball that's unlocked this back line.
Yeah, and credit to Birmingham for being very well organized, very compact defensively. And the more compact you are, the more well organized you are, it makes it so much more difficult for you to be broken down and scored on.
Riverhounds prepping a double change down below the next stoppage as they continue to look for fresh legs and a fresh perspective on this game in which they trail. Preston Tabor Itaka on the run again. Doesn't have much in the way of support, but he does have Ronaldo Damas. Tabor Itaka, once again, does he fire? Yes, but well off target.
Yeah, he's been wanting to pull the trigger all night. Finally got that opportunity to do so. Tregarthen didn't say anything to him. I kind of looked at him. He's like, all right, okay, I get it. You want to shoot too.
So here is that double change now for the Riverhounds. Jackson Walty come on for Bradley Sample in midfield. Walty, a guy who's been primarily a starter this year. In fact, he started every single league game except for tonight. He comes on for the final 26-plus minutes for Bradley Sample, and then Charles All makes way for Burton Jacqueson, former Pitt Panther Frenchman. And made 3 straight starts coming into the night, but comes off the bench in this one. So 4 second-half changes for Bob Lilly now. As that header from Kavita comes off kindly, but Damas was just in an offside position. That was awfully tight.
Here's the header for Kavita. See if we can try and stop it. Oh, I don't know. Well, we didn't have it when he had it, but when he headed that ball, but he was very close to being onside, but
and it was very, very tight. Ronaldo Damas thought he might be 1v1 with the keeper, but the flag goes up against him for the second time, make it the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, it looks like Legion FC are prepping a change here. It looks like it's going to be Forrest Lazo. I could see him coming on for I could see him coming on for either Mickelhaden or Shashua. If he comes on for Shashua, obviously he's going to be trying to shore up the middle of the field and continue to be defensively sound. Forrest Lazo is a guy with that left foot. He can really go and unlock Pittsburgh on the counterattack, especially when he has players with the pace of Tabor Itaka, Damas, and Tregarthen. If he can get them out in open space early, he can make some things happen for Legion FC on the counter.
Good defensive intervention there from Joshua, but only for a moment. Etu wins it back. Here comes Pittsburgh. Chance at a first-time serve. It gets all the way through to Augie Williams, who scores. Pittsburgh finally have a response. It's Augie Williams, and he makes it 1-1.
Yeah, and the substitutes, Etu gets involved, does a lot of the dirty work, gets the ball wide. It's on his teammate's right foot. It's on, I believe it was maybe Vactor or Walty. We'll get a look at here in just a minute, but whips that ball in, and it gives Birmingham a ton of trouble. Ultimately gets to Augie Williams in the back of the net, and he makes no mistake.
5th goal of the year for Augie Williams. It's brought to you by AT&T. And Pittsburgh, after trailing for more than a half hour, have a response.
Yeah, here's the 2 winning the ball. Gets it to, let's see, who whips that ball in. It is Boone. And then Augie Williams again makes no mistake back there. Unfortunate for Birmingham to give up that goal, but again, got to keep going.
Just the 3rd shot of the night, the first on target, but it finds the back of the net off the foot of Augie Williams. Chase Boone has his first goal contribution as a member of Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and now points hang in the balance down the stretch of the night.
It's funny you mentioned the word stretch. Pittsburgh is very stretched front to back. They're 40, 50 yards in between each other. Birmingham, when they've been in possession and have slowed.
Oh, that shot took a deflection to Boone. Boone an opportunity. Opts to center it instead, and that is way too high over the top of the target off the boot of Jackson Walty.
When Birmingham have been able to get set, they've been very compact defensively. But the substitutes for Pittsburgh have come on and they're making an impact. So Boone here sets up Walty. Came from Zakesson on the other side. So the substitutes are making a positive impact for Pittsburgh thus far.
We'll see whether Mark Briggs and Birmingham Legion opt to make a change here of their own sooner rather than later. Oda looking long for Damas. It skips on a hop all the way back to Eric Dick. Pittsburgh have finally found the goal they've been searching for here on the road. It's 1-1 with a little more than 20 minutes to go. Everything to play for here for both these sides. For Pittsburgh, a team that hasn't been as productive on the road as they would have preferred this year. They would love to get a result here at Protective Stadium tonight. Meanwhile, Birmingham Legion, hungry, desperate for three-point performances in the league, trying to inch them closer to the playoff line. Kavita clears that away. Fans, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches for the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Boone on the turn, got the cross away. It falls kindly to Williams. His shot blocked away by Hamoda. Tabor Itaka goes sliding into the ad boards, unable to keep that alive. So another dangerous moment at the back here for Birmingham, and the Legion will make their first change of the night here. It's Edwin Lasso, Colombian international midfielder, who comes on for Preston Tabor Itaka.
Yeah, I think Tabor Itaka had a really, really good match. You see him kick the ball away. He's really frustrated to be subbed off because he knows he had grown into that match. Really wanted to get a little bit more, but still bringing on Forrest Laza will give Legion FC the opportunity to really hit big diagonal. Edmund Lazo, excuse me, to hit some big diagonal balls to unlock Pittsburgh.
Edmund Lazo has been a key part of this Birmingham team since Mark Briggs brought him over back in May. 16 starts across all competitions coming into tonight, but he makes an appearance off the bench in this one. Throw here coming for Pittsburgh. 2 balls on the field as it stands, and it looks like a yellow card is coming for time wasting shown to Thiago Suarez. Second time tonight a Legion player has been booked for time wasting. Suarez picked up the ball after it rolled out of play, trying to prevent Pittsburgh from a quick restart. So Suarez booked, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Birmingham again, yellow cards starting to add up here. The guys they have on the field at the moment. Suarez now playing on a yellow, as is Daly, as is Hamoda, as is Sam Shashua. Two. Comes it in, finds the chest of Augie Williams. Space here for Boone, edge of the area. Boone goes down. Was he fouled? Referee says no, and points for a goal kick.
The referee was very definitive in that as well. Did not give him any chance to even think he was going to get a penalty there. We'll see. Boone takes a touch. You know, I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised he doesn't give a card for trying to draw a foul or baiting the referee into a card there or to penalty, because I mean it was clearly a dive from Boone.
We have seen that a few times this year. Yellow card shown for simulation. So far Pittsburgh has avoided being shown a yellow card caution tonight across the entirety of their team. Well done from Trey Garthen. Joshua a bit of space. Hamoda joining the fray.
I think part of that is because they've had the ball the whole time, so they haven't really had to foul Legion FC in order to try and get it back.
Pointing it out the other side for Suarez. Daly, his pass doesn't come off as intended. Looks like Mark Briggs is prepping a couple more Birmingham changes in the next few minutes. And Lasso's the lone change so far. Gets a couple of touches there. Have been the team in control since about the half-hour mark, but now they also would love to press for a goal here. How aggressive do they get? Daly.
And there's a little bit of a change in the shape of the substitution that made, so now Birmingham is playing with a double pivot, 2 6s in McElhatton and Lazo, but then Trey Garthen has gone up front alongside Ronaldo Damas, so the width for Birmingham is now going to have to come from Hamoda and from Daly.
Sebastian Trey Garthen has run a lot tonight. Quite a bit of ground. A couple of shot opportunities as well. See how much more he's got left in the tank as we approach the final quarter hour of the night. Suarez chips it forward. Good body positioning from Sean Suber.
And Daly wanted that ball. He had created that width, and the run from Trey Garthen had brought a defender with him. And so in behind was space for Daly to get onto the end of it, and he chose to go into Damas instead of go wide with it. So Suarez needs to see that pass and pick that pass a little bit better.
Williams trying to hold off Fonwo Kavita. Almost won that ball while he was on the ground, but couldn't in the end. Fans, eFootball is here. Now you can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball, free to play. Download it now.
Again, for those who are watching at home, you know, you can't see what we're able to see here in Birmingham, but particularly want to comment on Pittsburgh's defensive shape. They are very stretched defensively, and it's made it easier for Lazo and McElhatton to get on the end of the ball, but they're breaking here. An opportunity for Pittsburgh.
Boone out to his left. Augie Williams fires with that left and does not trouble the targets. And now it looks like Birmingham Legion are going to make that double change. Enzo Martinez will come on first. He will replace Sebastian Tregarthen. And then Dawson McCartney, another wingback for wingback swap, as he replaces Hermes Hamoda. So a large ovation from the crowd down below for Martinez, the Uruguayan and USL legend. Scored over 30 goals, assisted on another 20 plus in his time in Birmingham. Comes off the bench for just the second time tonight. Just the second time this year tonight, I should say. Dawson McCartney joins him as well, and he'll slot into that left wing back role that Hermes Hamoda was occupying.
Yeah, Enzo Martinez, a great player in USL Championship history, one of the greats. He always brings a lot of energy to the game, but now he'll be alongside Shashua there, so a little bit of a difference in shape for Birmingham now that Martinez is on the field, but it looks as though he's sliding right alongside Damas up front. So Shashua still playing the 10, trying to get on the ball in certain spots. Martinez is going to play alongside Damas for the last 15 minutes of this game.
Eric Dick sends it away. Williams gets it back to Chase Boone. Will either one of these sides find another goal in this night that could decide, snatch the points away from the other? Joshua has options either side as he sprints at this Pittsburgh back line. There's Ronaldo Damas. Into the area. Damas on his right, tries to slide it across, but too far out front of Enzo Martinez.
Yeah, you can see what he was trying to do there, but that's a very difficult ball to hit. Again, it's tough to whip your body around in that situation, to play it almost square with some shape on it. It doesn't come off in that instance, but you could see what he was trying to do there.
Goal kick coming here for Eric Dick. Gets play restarted. Rita under control. Edwin Lasso connects with Enzo Martinez. Tries to maintain it in the crowd and was fouled for his troubles. Edwin Lasso wastes no time restarting play. McElhatton able to control it. Damas on the turn. Damas has it blocked away. Edrock's positioning was perfect, but it's out for a corner, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
That's really good from Edrock there. He had to be switched on because Lazo played that ball very intelligently, very quickly for McElhatton to get in. You wonder if that ball doesn't hit the back of his feet, but this right here, his positioning is so good. He's able to get back and defend and block the shot ultimately. Goes out for a corner for Birmingham, but still, very good defending from Vidra.
It's Enzo Martinez who takes this corner, and it's much too low to beat the first man.
That's another pet peeve of coaches, players, and fans alike. You play a corner, it doesn't even beat the first man. Nobody has a chance to score if you can't beat the first man.
It's going to be a Birmingham throw, which Daly gets properly positioned for. Birmingham fans, don't forget to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news. Be sure to follow @BHM Legion on social media. Download download the Legion FC app, available in the App Store and Google Play. The Legion FC app and at BHM Legion. On social media, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC.
See, there's so much space for Lazo to get on the ball there because Williams has gone rogue and gone by himself. So if you're a center forward, you're a number 9, and you do that, it just makes it so easy for the opponents to break you down because they've got 30 yards in behind you. It's like playing 3 or 4v1. Great ball from Enzo Martinez.
What a ball from Martinez. Daly gets on the end of it. First time serve is cut out, but another corner brought to you by Chick-fil-A forthcoming.
So while it may look like you're making an extra effort, if you're Augustine Williams in that situation, you're not making good effort. You're just making effort.
Rob Lilly does have one more change left if he wants it. Briggs has 2 left at his disposal. Outswinging serve this time. Falls kindly for Edwin Lotso. His shot blocked. Jacqueson put his body on the line there to stop Edwin Lotso. Another serve finds the head of Thiago Suarez for one time and a second time. And Kavita almost got there, but Dick takes it away from everybody.
Yeah, Kavita gets up slowly. He's got some stretching his calves right here. Both teams are really going for it. I really think that there is going to be another goal in this match. Not sure who it's going to come from, I'll be honest, but I think there's another goal in this match. There's at least 1 or 2 more good chances for each team to be had in the last 10 to 12 minutes.
Kavita looks to be okay. Won that header convincingly. 2 shields it away from Enzo Martinez.
Enzo Martinez needs to get back into position. He's out of position there. He's just come onto the field. He has the freshest legs, and he gets spun by the defender. He gets away, but again, the energy has been so good, and Mark Briggs talked about that. Enzo Martinez needs to help keep that up. He's one of the leaders of this team. He often wears the captain's armband, so he needs to help drive the energy for Birmingham. Really tidy footwork from Shashua here.
Sam Shashua almost kept it all the way through all of that. McElhatton got a touch, but it falls nicely for Chase Boone. Boone's got space. Edwin Lotso trying to close it down quickly and clatters into him. That is a foul and a yellow card for stopping a promising attack. Brought to you by Rubio Law Firm.
I'm not sure that was warranted of a yellow card there, but Wiseman distributes his 5th yellow card to a Legion FC player tonight. Well, okay, now that I see it again, it hasn't come on replay yet, but now that you see it again, I digress a little bit. That is pretty blatant and right in front of the referee, so I take that back. That's probably warranted that is warranted as a yellow card.
So, Daly, Hamoda, Shashua, Suarez, Lasso have all been shown yellow card cautions.
4 of those 5 are still on the field.
Todd Jacqueson standing over this free kick that is certainly within shooting range. Zakashin on a hop, played by Fernando Delgado. '83rd minute here in Birmingham.
What a ping.
Again, Fernando Delgado's distribution has been strong tonight.
Barnes had to be there quickly, because otherwise Adamas can step down and slips past him. And Pittsburgh are in trouble.
What awaits the closing stages of the night tonight in a game that feels like, as Morgan said earlier, there are still chances perhaps to be had. Daly ushers that out for a Birmingham throw in the attacking third. Enzo Martinez in a crowd. Looking for support, find some. McElhatton. Daly. Safely back to the feet of the captain, Funwo Kavita. Extended stretches of possession, not something Birmingham's had a whole lot tonight. But Dawson McCartney's got space here. Mishit the cross, Super sends it away from trouble.
Yeah, it's disappointing for McCartney on his preferred left foot. Usually he's got good service, but does not get that right, and Pittsburgh are easily able to deal with the threat there.
Birmingham reset things once again through Kavita. Pittsburgh, one of the best defensive teams in USL Championship this year. Eric Dick came into the night leading the league in clean sheets with 8. Clean sheet was gone inside the game's first half hour. Since then, Pittsburgh goalkeeper has made a couple of important stops to keep it at a 1-goal game, allow his side to get back on level terms, thanks to Augie Williams earlier in this second half. What is left in the final 5+ minutes? Patterson, touched away from him by Edrock, throw for Birmingham Legion.
And a careless mistake from Patterson there. Put some folks under a little bit of extra duress, so that's a really good ball from Shua to unlock Pittsburgh and change the point of attack. Great ball from Daly there.
Martinez, Suber on his back. Cross deflects off of Suber, falls to Daly. Daly's shot finds Eric Dick, who once again plays it off his chest, but nothing comes of the rebound opportunity.
And away from the play, it looks as though Edrock kind of came up a little bit gingerly. That was a rocket of a hit from Daly. But again, the chances that Birmingham have had, they've hit them right at Eric Dick, and so
Birmingham screaming for a yellow card there. Joshua tried to turn and key an attacking opportunity. The referee didn't see it that way. Joshua again playing the diagonal ball, perfectly weighted. Daly couldn't keep it away from Etu once it came down. Etu does well not to concede the corner. It's up for a Birmingham throw, and now Pittsburgh will make their final change of the night. It's Jason Borgi, the 23-year-old, former Villanova Wildcats, who makes his 10th appearance of his rookie season. As Morgan said earlier, Edrock was limping around a little bit, so he'll be the man replaced in the 87th minute. So Borgi, the final change of the night for Bob Lilly. Birmingham still has one change left at their disposal if they so choose. Daly lobs it in, looking for Martinez. A lot of contact just outside the area. Martinez tried to put it down and play quickly. Referee won't allow that, but this will be a dangerous looking free kick coming up. So a free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner, coming for the home side. This was not too far outside the penalty area.
Yeah, out to throw him. Daly finds Enzo Martinez, pushes him down. Enzo Martinez realizes, draws a foul. Enzo Martinez has every right to play this quickly. Mark Briggs here, you can see on the broadcast, he's asking why in the world was he not allowed to play that? I mean, he had every right to, but Wiseman decided to stop the play, but here's still a dangerous opportunity for Birmingham.
McCartney drives it, Boone blocks. Still the bodies forward for Birmingham if they can serve something from a different angle.
It's a great first touch from Daly. Not a good pass, but a great first touch to get himself out of the pressure and beyond what was coming from Pittsburgh.
Now it looks like the Legion will regain their shape a little bit more here. Get their center backs back into position. 88th minute, 1-1 our score. A goal for Birmingham in the first half, a goal for Pittsburgh in the second. Shakason could not keep that in play. Birmingham throw. With stoppage time inching closer.
Birmingham have been on the front foot the past 10 or 15 minutes. Again, they have to be careful in possession as how they go forward. One small mistake, and you get the opportunity for Augie Williams to go catch you on the counter attack. It could be deadly. So they have to be careful. But Legion FC looked to be on the front foot.
Oh,
what a ball.
An opportunity here. McElhatton couldn't find the frame. The build-up brilliance. The back heel freed Sam McElhatton, but he could not keep that shot down.
Yeah, again, I love this little interchange. 1, 2, 3 touches. Damas sets up McElhatton, and he's got to put that on target. No excuses there. You have to put that on target. But, McElhatton is more of a 6, not a number 9. He was set up by a number 9. But unfortunately for Legion FC fans, and fortunately for Pittsburgh fans, this game is still 1-1.
Into the 90th minute, we're from down below, and Kennedy Baxter's 3 added minutes are coming to close the night.
It seems a little light to me. There's been multiple substitutions. We've had a goal and a few other things. So, I would have assumed more stoppage time would have been in. But, to be fair, it's been a pretty free-flowing game. So, still time for either team to get a game winner.
And 2 clears it away from Daly. Suarez quickly gets it back in play. Lasso's first touch a bit heavy. He's able to maintain possession with Birmingham. Dawson McCartney is confirmed 3 minutes of stoppage time, brought to you by UAB Medicine. Suarez not on the same page with Martinez, out for a Pittsburgh goal kick. Is there one more goal-scoring chance left tonight for either team? Boone on the run. Thiago Suarez trying to shield it away from him. Boone's going to be the man called for the foul. Cavita wastes no time getting play restarted. My hands there drawing the whistle. Ronaldo Damas was pulled back from behind as he tried to run at goal. This will be a cardable offense for stopping a promising attack. Yellow card, again brought to you by Rubio Law Firm, shown to Perrin Barnes. The first yellow card of the night shown to a member of Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Another opportunity here for Birmingham to get bodies in and around the box.
Yeah, and again, harp on this is the minimum of, it's a very light tug, if I'm being honest, but still the referee is giving it his yellow card. But what that has done is it's paused the game. It's been 40 seconds since the ball's been in play. So
Suarez heads it to the penalty spot. It falls for A.J. Patterson. His shot deflected wide and out for a corner, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Again, trying to push the issue, get forward quickly. Service is key here. It needs to be low, flat, driven with some whip on it from Shishua. They decide to go short again.
Martinez drives it a goal.
Wasted. It's just wasted. As a coach, I would be fuming if that was my team that did that. It was completely wasted. You are in stoppage time. You have a minute left, and you decide to play short and then just kick the ball out of bounds. It's frustrating. I'm sure for Mark Briggs and Legion FC fans there. Pittsburgh, however, perfectly fine to see that happen.
Jacquesin controls. Opportunity perhaps for the visitors. What could be their final foray forward. Jay Patterson deals with the inquisitive ball. Sam McElhatton wants to play on the counter. Underhits that pass looking for Ronaldo Damas. Gets it right back at his feet.
I think McElhatton's had a really good game tonight. He's underhit that pass, but I think the player I've been most surprised with and pleased with from Birmingham's side has been Ronaldo Damas. Ronaldo Damas and Tabor Itaka. I think they've both been very lively, very bright, a lot of energy from both of them.
Joshua wins it back. Damas, was he on? Flag stays down. Damas on the turn. Cut out by Suber. Cleared away by Barnes. Will that be the last action of the night? Yes, it will. Full time. And the points shared at Protective Stadium this evening. 1-1 our final.
Yeah, I think it's a deserved result. Birmingham didn't actually get too many chances on target to trouble Eric Dick. They got a lucky goal. But then Pittsburgh battled back. It's funny, on camera, you see some of the players just laying down. They are exhausted from the effort that both sides put in tonight. There was a lot of higher energy here, but at the end of the night, it's a stalemate.
So 1-1, our final. A goal in the first half for Birmingham Legion, a goal in the second half for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And the points proved to be shared this evening. Bob Lilly and his squad secure a point on the road. Birmingham Legion, meanwhile, had the lead bulk of the night thanks to that early goal, but couldn't make it stand up. Augie Williams able to pull one back. The Hounds will fly back to Pennsylvania with now 28 points to their total this year. Continue to be right on the edge of hosting a home playoff game. USL Championship's Eastern Conference standings for Birmingham, they pick up a big point as well. They're going to need to collect more with 9 games to go to try to get themselves back above the playoff line. We'll see what comes out of this contest for the Legion, where they had some splendid efforts from guys like Preston Tabor Itaka. Put in an excellent shift both in attack and defense on Birmingham to create that lead in the first place. It's a Birmingham defense that bent was finally broken in the 66th minute. In the end, Augie Williams' goal proves to be the one that secures a road point for Pittsburgh, a home point for Birmingham Legion. For Birmingham, this is the last time they'll be at Protective Stadium until that game against Tampa Bay coming up on September 17th. So they will be on the road for the rest of August. Pittsburgh flies back to Pennsylvania with a road point. We'll step aside and return to wrap up things at Protective Stadium right after this.
What are you doing?
I'm installing fiber optic cables.
Why?
Fix problems before they happen.
Why?
Keep the power on.
Why?
So your night light can keep the monsters away.
There are monsters?
No, wait.
It's time to hammer down. Single game tickets on sale now. Get your tickets today.
Fans on the turf down below here at Protective Stadium, as is tradition after every Birmingham Legion FC home contest. Plenty of fans in attendance on what turned into a beautiful Saturday night. It was raining throughout the afternoon after a sunny start. In the end, the rains held off this evening. Turned out to be a pretty enjoyable night for soccer here at Protective Stadium. And the fans got a fun game between these two sides. A combined 22 shots, just 1 goal apiece. Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, but the effort's certainly there for both sides. In the end, the points shared. Probably, as Morgan said earlier, a fair result when you look at the totality of the night and the effort these two teams brought. A night that started with the annual Noche Latina flag parade down on the turf at Protective Stadium. It ends with the fans all on the field Getting to meet with some of the players. Bob Lilly meeting with his side as well. 15 shots for Birmingham tonight, Morgan. 4 on target. A couple of big saves for Eric Dick in that second half.
Yeah, interesting. The end of the game, the possession ends up being 60-40. It was around 70-30 in the first half. Birmingham grew into the game as it got later on, but unable to unlock Pittsburgh and get the decisive goal in the end.
1-1, our final. Down below, Kennedy Baxter standing by with Birmingham Legion head coach Mark Briggs. Kennedy?
Guys, coach, a tough-fought game, still getting a point at home. What's the message for your team, and how do you prepare for next week's away game?
Yeah, look, I think we've got to take the positives from it. We created a lot of opportunities and we didn't put the ball in the back of the net. We could have gone 2-0 up in a critical time, and right now those things just aren't going for us, you know. So we've just got to keep grinding away. But I'm proud of the guys tonight. They gave everything tonight. They put on a good performance. And we created some opportunities, just didn't take them. So I'm proud of the guys. Not the result we want, obviously, but we've still got 9 games left, and there's still 28 points to play for. Is that right? I don't know, but there's a lot of points to play for. So we've just got to stay in this headspace and try and keep grinding out points and getting results.
Thank you, Coach. Morgan, Blake, back to you.
Thanks, Kennedy. As Morgan said earlier, and as Mark Briggs said earlier in the week, at the quarterfinal on Wednesday, but Mark Briggs said this group treating every game like a quarterfinal the rest of the way. Now they'll have to get points on the road. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they'll have some road games coming up as well. 3 of their next 4 away from Highmark. They go to Florida to close out August, and then a trip to California in September. So Pittsburgh will have to be road warriors as well as they continue to push for a top spot in the Eastern Conference table. Meanwhile, Morgan, for Birmingham Legion, a big 2-game road stretch coming up for Birmingham's team.
Yeah, certainly they've got to go down to Orange County, or over to Orange County, all the way across the country, come back home, and then turn around and go right back halfway across the country to play at Tulsa. And Tulsa is very good. They got a result in Tulsa earlier this year, the Jägermeister Cup. It doesn't get easier for Birmingham with some of the teams they have left.
So we'll see if they can get results on the road to close out August and open up September. But we have hit crunch time here as the race to the playoffs commences here with 9 to 10 games left. The USL Championship regular season. What's going on, guys?
Howdy.
Morgan Copes, Kennedy Baxter, I'm Blake Gardner. Thanks for watching our coverage live tonight from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. Certainly an entertaining game between these two teams, Eastern Conference foes that have met some 13 times now, and each time it feels like the games are close and tight and meaningful. So both these two teams fight for playoff positioning in the Eastern Conference down the stretch of this campaign. The points shared tonight, Ronaldo Damas scored in the first half. Augie Williams scores in the second half, 1-1. Our full-time final tonight from Protective Stadium. For our entire broadcast crew and Down in Front Productions, I'm Blake Gardner saying so long for the Magic City. We'll talk to you next time for another edition of USL Championship Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.